Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Ping Ping, and for today's video guys, I will discuss to you what are the common reasons why you are got denied by your tourist visa application. And in this video, I will also mention some of the examples of the strong ties that you can show to the consul, and what are the documents that you need to bring during your US visa interview, especially if you're applying in the US Embassy in the Philippines, and that is in Manila. By the way guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to my YouTube channel, please subscribe and hit the bell button to get notified of my next updates. So I'm going to share to you my screen in order for you to see some of the data that I will going to show and some of the examples of a scenario that people who applied for US visa, for US tourist visa, got denied. So I will show you my screen. Okay, so guys, we have common reasons that you got denied from your US tourist visa application. So number one is we have not telling the truth by your actions like sweating, nervous, etc. Please take note guys that the consuls are trained to detect a person if they're telling the truth or they are not telling the truth. Number two is you are rude, like while falling in line and you're not nice to the people and staff inside the embassy. So by just your actions and the time you enter the US Embassy, you have to be nice and be prepared and just be yourself. And number three is talking to yourself, memorizing something, etc. From the moment you step foot in the embassy, the people there and consuls are already observing you. So be nice, act naturally, and just relax. Yes, guys. So other people, they have this joke that they just go inside the embassy. They did not bring any documents as a proof of strong ties. They just bring their confidence and beauty, that's all, and they got approved. Ganda lang, di ba? Ganda lang te. And they say they got approved, and that is true guys. So you have to, in short guys, just be yourself and act naturally. So next is example of not telling the truth. Here's a scenario. You declare that you are single in your DS-160 and you got approved, but then your husband applied for the US visa and he declared that he is married to you, so the consul will cross-reference the application of your husband and your previous application. Then they will see that the wife declared in her application that she is single. What will happen is that they will disapprove guys, the application of the husband, and in the next renewal of the wife, she may be having a hard time renewing her visa. So yes guys, they do cross-reference your application with the persons that you declared in your DS-160. So for example, you also declared that you have a relative in the United States in your first application, but in your second application, you declare that you don't have a relative in the United States. What will happen is that when they check your previous application, they will see that you have a relative in your previous application. But in your second application, you declare that you don't have a relative. So they can say that by the mere fact in your application, you're not telling the truth by not disclosing all the information. So just be careful in fill outing your DS-160. Next is we have another example. If the family members, such as your parents or your wife, overstayed in the US, if they are holding US tourist visa when you apply for your tourist visa, and on of the and one rather guys, and one of the family members you declared in your DS-160 overstayed in United States, your application will also compromise because of course you might as well get denied in your application. One reason is that one of your family members overstayed in the United States. Example, you as a husband apply for a US tourist visa. You declare your wife who has a US visa already. And then when they do cross-reference the data of your wife, they found out that your wife overstayed in the United States. Of course, they will focus on your wife, guys, and they will ask you during your interview, what is the reason why your wife overstayed in the United States? You have to be very careful in answering that question. Because in the mere fact that your wife overstayed in the United States, that's a big no-no for them. In the reason that that your wife is only holding a U.S. tourist visa. Okay, so you have to make sure that if you declare a relative, family members, wife, husband on your DS-160, make sure that they don't have any immigration records, bad immigration records that may affect your application as well. Next is you're a group of friends, just friends traveling the US. You guys are not in school tour or official group tours, or not a family members as well, but you apply for a group scheduling. Definitely you guys will got disapproved. For example, you're just friends traveling together, young group of friends. You're not in a school tour, not an official group, athletes, not in an official, not on an official list of groups that are considered by the US Embassy. But you want to have the same interview schedule, the same date of interview. So you schedule for a group scheduling. You're in a one CGI account. So the reason the consul will disapprove you, why? Because they're just thinking that the consul thinking is you might smuggle something. Why is this group of young people traveling together? They're not relatives, they're not in one family they're not family members, they're just friends. You can just easily say that we're friends, but the real life you're not really friends. I'm assuring you, you guys will definitely get disapproved by that. So what is my suggestion? You must apply individually and schedule your interview individually as well. Okay, next one. Another example is you declare in your DS-160 that you will stay in the US for 6 months. Okay, so you know that US tourist visa is, for example, you receive a US tourist visa and that is valid for 10 years and it's multiple entry. When you say multiple entry, you can enter the United States many times for the next 10 years. And your maximum stay in the United States is 6 months. Alright guys, but do not max out that 6 months, because if you're just a tourist in the United States holding a US tourist visa, why are you going to stay for a maximum of 6 months, right? If your only reason is just to explore the United States. Okay, you know, when you don't have work in the Philippines, you don't have a family in the Philippines that you will have to go back, you have to make sure, you have to think of those things. So if you stay in the United States for 6 months, the consul will think, why are you staying for 6 months in the United States? How about your business here in the Philippines? How about your family? How about your work? So if you put your in your DS-160 that you will stay for 6 months in the United States, that's already a no-no for consul. Consul will think that if you're a tourist and staying for a maximum of 6 months in the US, it's too much. If only your main reason is vacation, maybe you will look for a job or something, right? Maybe you're preparing to meet your husband in the United States or your boyfriend, and you will do adjustment of status after you got married. That's why you want to stay for a maximum of 6 months. So what is the best thing you have to do? Declaring your DS-160 the shortest time possible that you want. 10 days, 15 days, 2 weeks, like that. Okay, 1 month. If you have family or relatives, you are going to stay in the United States. Next, please note, all documents or hard copy are not necessary in applying for US tourist visa, because consuls know that documents can easily be fake, but you can bring documents that are essentials, only in order for you to be ready just in case consuls ask for it. So not too much document, guys. You don't need to bring the land property, the land title, the ORCR of your car, of your 10 cars. Example of the documents you can bring are, so if you have a business, you can bring your latest ITR, or you can bring your business permit, the latest one. If you have work, you can bring the certificate of employment or your latest pay stub. If you are studying, you can bring the officially enrolled documents, RF, they call it also that. And if you want to attend trainings or events in the United States, you have to bring invitation letter from the organization or company. Please take note, guys, that you don't need invitation letter from your relative in the United States if you're applying for your US tourist visa. Invitation letter, if you have a relative in the United States, is not necessary. I believe invitation letter is only applicable if you're applying for a tourist visa in Canada. Yes, if you have relatives in Canada and you want to apply for tourist visa in Canada, you need an invitation letter. But in the United States, you don't need invitation letter if you are applying for US tourist visa in the United States. Okay, next thing. Please take note that consuls are well trained to detect if you are not telling the truth in your application. So act naturally and just be honest. Guys, so as a bonus for this video, I will share the example of a strong ties that you can show to your US tourist visa application. Example of a strong ties are business, and much better if your business is more than a year, because if it's less than a year, it's like premature and still a baby. You know, council might think that, oh, still business is still young. You might not sure if it will be successful or not. So maybe she or he is trying to find a new job in the United States. So better if your business is more than a year. Number 2 is your family, such as, of course, spouse, children, and your parents. And number 3 is work. You have a very good work, and much better also if it's more than a year. But if your work is less than a year, you can still give it a shot. And then last one is your travel history. Plus points if you travel outside of the Philippines with countries that requires a visa. It's a plus points. But guys, it's not a guarantee that if you meet all this criteria, you have all these strong ties, you'll be 100% approved by applying in your application for US tourist visa. Alright guys, and please take note that your DS-160 plays a big role in your application. So please make sure that your DS-160 is well prepared and your answers match with your DS-160 answers as well. Okay, so just be yourself and be prepared, and please take note that you can always apply many times as you want if you got denied by your US tourist visa. Good luck on your application and have fun. I hope you enjoy watching this video, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the bell button to get notified of my next uploads. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye bye.